So yeah, we've got all the bots. We're gonna rate them, like I said, and then we're gonna put a thing at the top, a total, and then we're going to see what we scored them last year as well. Just let me know if you can hear the music. Granted, the music sounds good. Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Let me know. Cool. Okay, so literally you can see here we've rated them all. We've got them all into batches. We're going to rate them each by one. So straight off the bat, obviously we've got to start with my man Sunstreaker and Swindle. This guy I probably rated low in 2020 because he's been a lot of hate. But you know what? After testing for ability 11, it wasn't as bad as I thought. He's still got that long 10-second burn, so I wouldn't say he's awful. So I'd probably put him as 3. I'd probably put him as 3 out of 5. Probably not as low as I would have put him. Still bottom Thundercracker. There's a lot of anti-healing cores, and there's the anti-electric cores sort of affect him. But he's still decent. Ooh, I'd probably put him as 3 again as well. He has amazing range, and I still wouldn't be too disappointed in pulling him. But I'd still put him as 3. I still think they're okay. They're not bad pulls. No, he's definitely a good pull. Would I put him as 5 though? Yeah, I probably would. No's one probably one of the pick of the batches in that batch. So yeah, I would definitely like a 5-star. No, absolutely beastie with Lionizer and you know, with his G1 core. So I'd definitely put No as a 5. Grimlock, ooh, I'd put it down there as a 2. I'd say 1, but Grimlock Razor Claw I'd put as 2. Not ability 11's probably put more to 2 from a 1, but really poor 5 stars. Not one that I want. Hot Rod, ooh, 9 months ago would have been a 5, but the FFD has sort of nullified him a bit, but he's still good. So Hot Rod, Nemesis Prime, I'd probably put as a 4. We'll just try again. So yeah, so rating that we've got 5 plus 4, that's 9 plus 6, that's 15, 18. So batch number 1, 18 out of 25. Batch 2, Otters Prime. It's got to be a 5. I mean, his primers don't work all the time, but he's got crazy health. He's got crazy DPS, and it does work most of the time, keeping your bots together. So I would definitely put Prime up here. I really would put him up in the sort of godly 5 section. Skyburst, again, ability 11, G1 cores made her better. Ooh, 2 or 3, 2 or 3. I think I'll be. Ooh, will I be generous? Put them into 3. Yeah, I think I'll be generous and put them into 3. I can't put any higher than that. But if I put 17, let's put it 17. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17. Oh, you're right, yeah. My bad. Can't even add up. Cool, thanks. Alright, Wheeljack and Shockwave. Definitely 4, I'd say. I don't think they're 5s because of Minerva. Or maybe put them as 5 until Minerva came in the game. And I think Minerva's the actual level that we sort of need to get at. Drift the Barricade, I would put as a 1. Really awful bots. I do not rate them at all. Really poor. Windblade could be used for sack. Decent for Zen farm, I suppose. Not really in wars, but I think she took a bit of a tumble. And I think at 2, I think. So, total here is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Just confirm it for me, guys. I obviously can't add up. Lord Avix, but it's a UK thing. This can't add up. Okay. Ultra Magnus and Galvatron. Well, we know where they're going straight away. We know they're going down here. We know for a fact. Pretty awful bots. I mean, I'd put Galvatron up there, you know. So, that's where I put Galvatron. Maybe even there. That's how different they are, honestly, guys. But for the sake of bots... it's hard, yeah. I mean, yeah, let's do that. So, yeah, let's do that. Obviously, the score will be higher if you're a con. If you're not a bot, though, definitely down there. And the sets has got about, you know, disparity between the two things. Well, that's a good example there. Firefly and Blastoff, I'd probably put them as a 4, you know. I mean, they're no Jetfire, but the ability 11's amazing. So I'd definitely put them up there. Springer and Astro Train. I'll probably put as a 3. I'm going to put Galvatron down here to make some room because Springers are alright. They're alright. They're not bad. They're good for pathing. But that second ability is not really good enough. The healing's not that much. They're good bots, but I wouldn't say they're amazing. I'd probably put Cheeto down here too, in 3. He's lost a lot in the current meta. He just doesn't heal enough. He takes a lot of damage with the MDS, so he's not sort of stuck with time. Definitely sort of fell away. So yeah, I put him in 3. And then Jazz, very costly bot. I'd probably put them down as 2. Yeah, again, it's the cost. Great range, great damage. Not quite enough for Prime League, but that cost 9 ability points. You could do so much better for 9 ability points nowadays. So yeah. So total there we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for batch 3. Batch 4 is an interesting one. So going back 2020, you know, this would have been like high. So it leads to Lugnut. I'd probably put as 4, not as high as maybe they once were. Good sack bots, but they, you know, they can't really one-shot anymore like they used to and do a load of damage. They do good damage. The ability 11's decent, but you know, they can't take out any structures, so they struggle to get points back. That's what I've found personally. Good for Zen farming, obviously. Soundwave and Blaster, straight up as 5s, without a doubt. Absolutely amazing. Beastly. Probably one of the best spots in the game for me, without a doubt. Sludge and Straxus, I'd probably put as a 3. Slush attacks work very well to get around the MDS and get around the combiner outposts that are in the middle. They've got a bit of a comeback, but they are situational. Prowl and Brawl I'll put as 2. Not good at all. Fell away from the meta because they don't have the range of jets and because of combats. But yeah, not that good. I like his ability 11, don't get me wrong, and he's decent, but you know, he's no Jetfire. He's no Jetfire. And then yeah, Ratchet and Hook definitely up there as a 4. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 for batch 4. Batch 5, Snarl and Hunger. I imagine these are quite high in 2020 because that was before combats. Combats have changed a lot. But Snarl and Hunger, because they can't equip any good combats. We've talked about we need some good combats in playtest for, you know, tanks and for bots that can't equip good combats. So yeah, I would literally put these guys as a 2. They got to overlap a bit because they're huge. So yeah, Rodimus Prime, Multimaster. I'd probably put them as 3. They could be good for clearing areas. I know people use them for that. I know people use Cheeto for that, but these guys have got a bit more health, but not to the heights of Russian Smash. No, definitely not. So I'll put them as a 3. Warpath and Skull Smasher, I'll put them as 5. 2 bot, well, a bot that I would definitely want. The fact they can hit the Titan, take out build bots, take out shield gens from the other side of the map, makes them obviously godly right now in the current meta. Absolutely crazy. Obviously the healing doesn't help them, but taking out them build bots with something that's not airborne is vital, especially in the current meta with the anti-air. So yeah, definitely. Perceptor, I'd put as a 3. I don't think anything else has helped him. He's, you know, I still don't rate him his hack at all. He's definitely no blades for me. But yeah, he's alright. And RC, I think, it's been a bit of a comeback. I think RC is probably a 4. Up there with the likes of Rook. I'd like RC. You know, you know, she's not Rook, but I would like her a lot. And thank you, Zenzali Garnet, for subscribing. Thank you. But yeah, I definitely like RC and Nightbird. So yeah. So this batch, what we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 for batch 5. Interesting. Batch 6, this would have been high rated for me back then. I think this was a new batch out, I think. This might have been the most current batch in 2020. So, first aid, I'd put as a 3. He's not as good as other healers. He was probably a 5 when I did this last time, but, you know, FFDs really hurt him. Any bots that come under the FFDs probably drop down 1. So, definitely put them as a 3. Hotspot, I think a 3 as well. Maybe even a 2. Yeah, maybe even put them as a 2. Not used at all. I mean, yeah, great tank and a lot of health, but doesn't reflect enough in the current meta to do enough damage and dies very quickly. I'm not a big fan of any rush in bots. But yeah, not a fan of these two guys. Goldfire, I'd probably put down as a 3. Not enough health for the current meta. This guy was godly in 2020, but I'd probably put him as a 3 now, to be honest with you. Sandstorm and Octane, far too costly. Great bots, but far too costly. I put them down as a 2 as well. I put them right down there. Maybe a 3 at push. I could maybe push to a 3. We'll have to double all these up. Because I think that these guys go in there as well. So I maybe put them aside actually. Put them like that. But you get the idea. But yeah, they're 3 as well. So this batch 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 for batch 6. Okay, next batch. Well, I think it's safe to say that we've kept these down here for batch for out of 3, but none of these guys will. So blades, I'd put as 4 without a doubt for batch 7. Let's just move these over a bit. Whoops. We're just stretching him. So let's just put them all in there a minute. We know all of them are 3. All that batch. We put all that batch as a 3, really, to be honest with you. But I'm not a big fan of hotspot at all. So yes, Dirge and Blades definitely as a 4, without a doubt. Rhinox, Trenchulus, I'd put as 5s, honestly, for the leveling they could do, for the health they've got, with that new Transmetal core, makes them crazy, crazy, crazy good. Honestly, unbelievable. Jetfire, Starscream, you can't beat a one-shot, even for build bots. I'm going to put them as 4s in my war team. Absolutely essential. Anti-air is going to not do them that much justice. They may drop eventually with anti-air, but I do like a nice one-shot jet that can take out an MDS without a regen core. Smoke screen, I put a 3, you know. I mean, maybe a 4 at a push, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan in the current meta. There's just not enough health. They just die very quickly, and because they need sort of glitch on them, they sort of fall back a bit behind the team. You want sort of flak in your team and top shot ID. Like I talked to someone today and said you need pretty much flak and top shot in your team solid. Once you start putting glitch in there as well and your bot starts to separate, it causes pathing issues where that bot will walk off. I don't know that Smokescreen and Breakneck have got ultimate range pretty much, so they can sit back like that, but that's when they start popping outposts and they die because they're getting hit by mortars or whatever else. So in the current meta, they're good. Like I said, a 3 is not bad. But yeah, I'm not too sure they're up there as 4s yet. I'm on the cusp. Laser Moxus and Amanda Megs, definitely a 4. I won't go as far as 5. Or maybe, I don't know, 4.5. They're 3.5. They're 4.5 probably. I won't go as 5. You can clear a good area with Laser Optimus. But we'll probably put them as 4s, I think. So for this batch, we've got 4, 8, 12, 17, 20 for batch 7. Not 23, 20. Batch 8, interesting one. So Swoop and Scourge. Not a big fan on attack, but good on defense. But I'd personally put them as a 3. Not a big fan. I haven't pulled them yet. I don't really want them. I never can pick them up. Yeah, not a fan myself. Rook and Blot. Ooh, I'd put them as a 5 personally. Amazing popping outposts, amazing health, amazing damage even with their abilities. Absolutely crazy good. Obviously better than RC, but crazy good. Bumblebee, honestly, up there. You might think I'm crazy. Bumblebee and Scrapnel, 5. Absolutely ridiculous. And now this sort of fixed ability, that's going to be absolutely crazy. Take out that electric billboard, and honestly, they can stun pretty much anything other than the MDS. Nothing is safe, and it protects your bot so much. And with two healers, use Bumblebee, does damage, it stuns for 2 ability points, gets your healers healing again. Absolutely incredible. Honestly, someone in the chat today said this guy is going to be like overpowered and need a nerf. And I think people will be crying nerf to him. I really do. Is that crazy good? Now they fixed that issue with him. Octopus Sea Spray, I'd put as a 4. They're still relevant, but you know, with the new electric cores, they're not as powerful. Still really good, but with the healing in Prime League, self-healing, things like that, they're not quite what they were. Still really, really good, but you know, not amazing. Impactor, I would put as a 4 as well. Absolutely amazing. You know, clears a really, really good area. And Grant's made a good point that, of course, this depends on playstyle. Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, a lot of people will have different opinions, but like I said, this is sort of my opinion on, you know, what I think. You know, if you don't agree with it, you're welcome to disagree and put that in the chat. Nothing wrong with that. You know, you might put one of these bots really high up. You might use Drift. It's a really good standard, but me personally, not so much. So what we've got here, we've got 5, 10, 14, 18, 21. 21 for batch 8. Batch 9 slash. Oh, I'd still only put slash as a 4. Really good for leveling. Could be amazing for slashing bases, but base dependent and does have her issues. Maybe it's a 3, but she does do really good for leveling. I used my 4-star and maxed it out, level it other bots. It was incredible. Brainstorm and Guy Hawk. I had high hopes for these guys, but everyone I speak to just said, yeah, they just don't really work that well. And, you know, that slowdown, 90% was crazy. And I really I really enjoyed testing it and using it just in front of your bots. But it just didn't work out. I don't know why. I'm baffled. This is one of those bots where you look at it on paper and test it out and think, yeah, it's really good. Then you try it in Prime League and it just doesn't give you enough. So, sadly not. Red Alert and Run Amok. I'd maybe put them as 4s. A lot of people use them, me not personally, but I can see how that could be crazy good. Special ability 11, but those FFDs really hurt him. It could be maybe a 5 before the FFDs. The way he is, you know, with 100% immunity and 50% to all the allies. But, you know, with the FFDs, it fell down a bit. Pipes and Headstrong, without a doubt, a 2. And the only reason they're going 2 is because they've got the highest health in the game. Similar to Hotspot, very good health of a tank, but pretty awful, let's be honest, not great. And then we've got Skylinks and Blitz, unpopular opinion, but 3. Really good damage, absolutely crazy, really good. But pathing is awful, really, really bad. To the point where I just don't want Skylinks at all. I've got a Skylinks at like 6310 that I do not use, a 4-star. I'm not even planning on pulling the 5-star. In that batch now, I have literally got Pipes, Skylinks, and Brainstorm left to pull, and I'm not bothering with that batch. Hence why I've got 15,000 shards, guys. I could pull all them bots right now, and I'm really not gonna bother. So overall here we've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 for batch 9. So, looking at the ratings there, batch 3, which I thought it would be, to fair, is the worst batch. Not very good meta bots, and obviously Ultra Magnus and Galvatron bring this one down. You really don't want to pull them, guys. You don't want to pull them bots. Really, really poor. Next up, batch 6. A lot of bots that have sort of fell away from the meta, really. But, you know, I just can't see him making a comeback. Sandstorm's good for healing. If they increase the points, he might go up. I can't see Goldfire coming back really the way he is, popping out pulse with the T-Lock mines. They were designed for him. Better bots have come out of it now, like Afterbreaker and Blur, that do the job better for the same amount of points. But yeah, quite a poor batch. Then we've got batch 2, 15. I thought it'd be a bit higher, but Drift brings that down. But Optimus Prime, Wheeljack, definitely pick of the bunch. And this is why I'm not going for this batch, because I've got Skyburst, I've got Wheeljack, and I've got these three left. So 2 bad pulls really and 1 good one. So that's why. Next was 9. Again, 9's an alright batch, but there's no one in it that's like that wows you. There's no one in 9 where you're like, I will pull this whole batch for that one bot. You sort of look at it and think I might pull from it, but you're thinking, yeah, but they're alright. Not one amazing. That's sort of the feeling when that batch came out. I thought Brainstorm would be picking a batch personally, but I'm just going up what everyone else says because I don't really use him. I haven't got the 4-star guys, but I loved him in testing. But everyone I spoke to doesn't use him in wars, doesn't use him at all, so he can't be that good. And everyone sort of complains about how costly he is, and so yeah. After that, we've got batch 5 and 1, which I'm not surprised at, to be fair. And even with Snarl and Grimlock in that batch, the other bots are so godly, like Gnaw and like Warpath and Skull Smasher. That good that you know, it's hard to sort of look at that batch and not think, well, I wouldn't mind one of them bots. And that's why I'm considering those 2 batches. I'm considering going for Warpath. I've already got Snarl, which is one of the worst bots in the batch. So if I've got RC or Warpath, won't be the end of the world. I don't really need RC that much because I've got Rook, but won't be the end of the world. Obviously I want Gnaw. Gnaw would be amazing. And Hot Rod would be good as well. Get rid of the FFDs and you can pretty much just walk with Hot Rod and keep bots alive where need be. But I find Hot Rod's a bit more of a, you're sort of saving bots, but the FFD, if you're not to get out part of the plan, then you're going to struggle a bit. And then batch 4 is still up there with 18 points. I'm not surprised. There's not really a bad bot in it as such, but a lot of good bots. Prowl and Brawl are not bad by any means. They're not awful. But I was pretty disappointed when I pulled them, and I've never used them in wars. I've used them here and there. I've tried them out. When the new meta came in, I thought I need a bot that can take out an MDS or something, some high HP defenses from the launch pad. Just don't have the range, don't have the damage, so I'm not gonna bother. But yeah, I still use Sludge, I still use Ratchet and definitely Blaster. Not really using Elita, but I know a lot of people do for sack. So there's 4 good warbots in there, at least 3 definite good warbots that you'll use in a lot of wars. And then obviously, I had to guess it between 7 and 8. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to like to call it. I know we obviously can see there it's 2021, but we could probably put Smoke Screen higher to 4 maybe. But then again, you could probably put Swoop higher to 4 maybe as well. You could maybe drop Rook down 1. You could maybe drop Jetfire down 1 because you look at one-shot build bots now and mortars, but that's about it really. Can't one-shot the MDS anymore, so you could give or take that, but I'd put 7 and 8 definitely up there as the 2 best bundles. But you know, when you see sort of Facebook and people saying what should I go for, it's always 4, 7 and 8 pretty much, and I don't think you can go wrong with them. But yeah, 7 and 8 definitely the best out there. 1 and 5 and then 4, sorry, 4 is definitely still a good batch, and 1 and 5 they're definitely contenders. And then after that, you're chancing it. You're sort of chancing some bad pulls at some point. So let's have a look. I honestly can't remember what scores I gave these, but let's have a look at what scores these all got in 2020. So in 2020, batch 1 got 17 out of 25. So interesting, it's exactly the same. I imagine Silverbolt was higher and Hot Rod was lower. I imagine. Because Hot Rod didn't have his ability 11 then, that he could do it to 2 bots. It was quite expensive for what you got. But Silverbolt didn't have the new build bot core, so he'd have been higher. Maybe I put Nora's 4, because I don't think he had ability 11 then. But yeah, same overall. Batch 2 has dropped a lot. From 20 to 15. And I think Windblade probably caused that, along with Drift, because Drift's got even worse. I mean, he could get through walls earlier, which made him okay, but now he's just awful. No one uses him, and Windblade's not the sack bot she was. So yeah, batch 3, Ultra Magnus has gone even lower. I think the big one here was Cheetor. Cheetor was probably a 5 back then. He's dropped 2 places. But yeah, I think Firefly's gone higher, but it's very similar, 12, 13, but yeah, I think Cheetor going down, Springer's probably gone up, and Firefly gone up, and that's probably why it's gone up slightly. Batch 4 was 21 out of 25, now it's 18. I think Elite would have been godly. I think Sludge would have been higher as well. Don't forget, it's one of the newest batches out, and was absolutely, incredible at the time. Batch 4 was like, the batch that everyone went to. Really, really good. Even Prowl would have been maybe 3 back then, because he could one shot. 15 out of 25. So Batch 5's definitely come back into the meta more, and I put that down to Warpath. Warpath's absolutely immense in the current meta, and he would have probably been a 3 back then. Absolutely crazy, crazy good. RC is, I mean, she'd have been a 2 because she was light Rook, but not as good. But, if you haven't got Rook, she's amazing still, and having 2 in your team, popping them out posts is becoming even more vital. And then batch 6 was 21 out of 25. It is now 14. Massive drop for batch 6. Hotspot has definitely fell down. Sandstorms fell down. I think that every single one of these bots has probably fell down. I think First Day would have been 4. I think Rustus would have been 4. Sandstorm maybe 3 or 4. Goldfire 5. Hotspot 3 or 4. I think every single bot has fell down. And obviously Goldfire going from the most powerful bot in the game back then to a 3 has definitely hurt this batch. And not the batch that it used to be that you want to pull from. So, yeah. That's all the ratings, guys. So what do you guys think? Any you don't agree with? Put it in the chat, guys, and let me know. But yeah, absolutely crazy.